I know I need to size up with you, and when I defang the Viper, trust me, ain't gonna come from nowhere. Jeff, I already put you out. I don't even know why you're out here right now. Keep on talking. Hey, do me a favor. Why don't you act like this is an AA meeting and you shut your mouth while I'm sharing with the group? And Mustafa, you out here, a boy among men. And I'm gonna tell you what, you got lucky at the Rumble, so I know you're gonna come out here and run your mouth about how bad you are. But let me give you a little bit of a reality check. You see, Mustafa, you said that my eyes don't lie. Well, your eyes don't lie either, because last week, they were closed real tight when I put your simple ass to sleep. And AJ, hey man, be honest with me. How's our old girl Wendy doing?
Welcome back to the Clark Street Wrestling Podcast. It's me, Hafeez, and with me as always is Devin, and we are about to talk some wrestling during this Road to Royal Rumble. This is Royal Rumble. Yeah! Very, very excited. Very excited to talk about the Rumble and other things going on in wrestling, including AEW and
among other things.
2.0. We're going to talk about it. 2.0.
That's right, 2.0. We're going to talk about it. Yeah, we're going to talk about it.
They made news, so yeah, we're going to talk about it a little bit here. But before we get into that, definitely going to talk about, we're going to start things off with AEW on a positive note. Jon Moxley made his return on Dynamite, which was real cool. Shared some words with the fans. There was one asshole in the crowd that was yelling some shit, and he told him to shut the fuck up, and they kicked him out. So that was cool.
Dude. Yep.
So yeah, just end that real quick.
Right. You just wasted money. The show just started like 5 minutes. You dumb motherfucker. That's all I gotta say. You dumb motherfucker.
Yeah, that was what it was. We're not gonna put too much energy on that.
Nope.
But yeah, man, Jon just kind of spoke from the heart, about dealing with his demons, and that it's never gonna hold him down, and he's gonna keep on fighting, and just the crowd was with him. And what got me was how quiet everybody was too, like listening to him. It was like you could hear a pin drop, like people were focused in on his words. And it was real cool to experience that. So shout out to Jon. Welcome back, Jon. And just keep fighting, like you said. So yeah, it was real cool seeing that. What's some of your takes just on this whole return so far?
Man, good point out about the crowd, man. They show respect, man. So shout out to the crowd, just absorbing all the energy that Jon Moxley was putting out, man, and he was just sharing his heart. And it was one part of the promo that stuck with me, where he was saying, like, we all wear scars, even though they might not show, like on the visual or physical level, but inside them, internal. And I was like, wow, man, that hit home, man. And that was a hard bar he laid right there, man. But just to see Jon in good spirits, looking healthy, looking leaner, looking like Dean Ambrose size when he was WWE, man.
Yeah, so he looked leaner. He did.
I was like, cool, man. So I'm just happy to see him. Happy to see how he, get back in the groove of things for AEW format. So I'm ready, bro. I'm ready.
Mm-hmm. Had his first match back against All Ego Ethan Page. Won that. Great matchup overall too. Just great back and forth action. Shout out to Ethan Page. He put in work. He did a great job too. So that was fun to see. But the aftermath probably got a lot people talking even more so with what we saw, where
curiouser.
A certain American Dragon was waiting for him when he left the ring, and he went up the crowd and to the rampway, and then you see it's Bryan Danielson, and he gives a look to Moxley. Moxley looks at him, and then he kind of keeps walking, and you see this look on Bryan Danielson's face, smiling like, okay. So it's a little tease. How you feeling about two former WWE guys getting ready to mix it up here in AEW?
I got no issues with it. If they wanted to use former ex-employees of the WWE, I got no problem, man, because they're just pros of pros when it comes to wrestling, sports entertainment. Get that in there.
Oh my God.
But I'm digging the foreshadowing down the line that we might see this match. I'm curious, like, how they would build it up. Is it just like a sneak peek, and then maybe a couple of months we'll get there? I don't know, man. But I like the tease. I'm digging the tease.
Would you prefer we get right into it, or do you want to? Because you say you're liking the tease, so
Yeah.
how long do you think they should, at least for you, stretch this out?
I'm good with a slow cooker meal, man. Go ahead and let it simmer. Like what did Roman say? The tribal chief. Hey, I'm cooking a steak over here. You gotta let it take your time. This is a form of art. So take their time, man. Let the story come to them. Don't force anything. Let Jon Moxley get his bearings within his matches. If they want to use elevation, use dark to build them wins. I know how they like to do that. So they can include their AEW rankings system. But I'm cool with them meeting down the road, though, man. I'm fine with just taking the time.
I feel you. I mean, I'm cool with it. Like, I wouldn't be mad about it, but I got to be honest, man. I'm greedy. I want it now. Like, seeing them like cross paths like that. Like, I just want to see them go and start this program now. Yeah, just give it to me now. Like, not necessarily do the match on the next Dynamite, but let's have some promos and have maybe Bryan Danielson has a matchup, and then he like grabs a mic and calls out Moxley. And then they kind of start the program that way with him, just getting on him a little bit, strictly wrestling, not the WWE way of bringing up someone's like sobriety like they did with Jeff Hardy. I hope they don't do that. For this, it's like keep it to wrestling and like who's the baddest man in AEW. Just make it about that. Like, and that it could be amazing. And then with their history too, and both being in WWE, both reaching that mountaintop, being former WWE champions and all that. Yeah, like that's a lot of cachet to be bringing into AEW. So, and for this matchup. So yeah, man, I would love to see this now. Like if they did a slow burn, I'm not mad at it. But my initial thoughts right now, being honest about it, is, man, if they said, hey, this Dynamite, Bryan Danielson called out Mox, I'd be like, yes, I'm ready for it. Let's do it. So that's where I'm at with it.
So how would you feel if they did take their time?
I mean, I guess I'm just in the mood for it right now because they showed it. So if let's say neither, well, I think that the chances are very low for neither one of them to show up on television next week, right? So they're both gonna show up in some capacity. And if neither one of them mentions the other one, and let's say they just both had matches, that ended clean and walked off, I don't know. I guess I'd kind of be like, I wish you'd give me something, like give me something to chew on to like build it. Even if you are going to do a slow burn, like
let it
have
progress,
Moxley be waiting for him at the rampway and kind of look at him, before his match, or like schedule their matches to where it's back to back. And then you can have them cross paths, like as Bryan Danielson is celebrating and then he makes his way out, hit Moxley's music and he comes through the crowd or something like that, like have it be like at least more of a tease to where we're linking them together still.
Like every week it progress.
Yeah. Like after, so this week it could be, hey, Moxley has a stare down with Bryan Danielson. And then, next week we get into maybe a jab, maybe, I don't know, Bryan does, a Moxley move, or something just to kind of make you, or maybe Bryan Danielson does his entrance through the crowd, to kind of mock what Moxley does, that, I think that'd be cool. So
I wonder if he would bring up his past with WWE, like he might say like you wasn't strong enough to carry it or something like that when you WWE champion, something.
He might.
A personal dig. I was, because how Bryan don't give a fuck.
Right. He did it to
the way
Hangman.
Exactly. That's what I was just about to bring him up, man. Because this Daniel Bryan, or I should say Bryan Danielson. I'm sorry, Bryan Danielson. This dude is a savage, bro.
Right.
Like he's just he operates a little bit on the face side because he just wants to challenge, but he's healed too because like, dude, I'm about to break you down on a mental, physical level, and I don't give a fuck what I got to do to how I'm gonna do it too. So by any means necessary. So he has like that ruthless aggression attitude, and I'm digging it, bro.
Yeah, man. I mean, I could see, Brian just being his it's hard to call it cocky because he can back it up, but kind of rubbing it in how great he is,
Yeah.
and just being like, hey, I'm better than you in every way. I always have been, always will be. I was better than you in the other show. That I main evented WrestleMania. How many WrestleManias did you main event? 0. Which is facts.
Yeah, facts.
Like he left, on a good note, like whereas Moxley left kind of disgruntled a little bit, it was kind of, not the best departure necessarily. So yeah, there's definitely a story there to glean from, their time in WWE. I think it could be a lot of fun. Just, I'm that's what I'm saying. Like I there's so much there that I do want it now. I want them to go ahead and let's just start this up now. But if they take their time, little by little, slow burn, as long as it's done in the right way, you got to still link them together. You can't just show me this and then next week there's no mention of each other. It's just, hey, I'm going to have a match.
They don't need to do that. Exactly. I think if AEW can avoid that of, you don't see them, like to your point, they don't see them for next week, but I would like to see them like in a promo, just something outside the ring to build the fight that I want to see them get down in the ring. Like,
right, we're on the same page.
Yeah, exactly, man.
With that, we're on the same page. Like, I think neither one of us wants to see them not pick up, momentum from this. Like, let's do something. It doesn't have to be we don't want the match right away. We don't want the match next week. We just want to see like a promo or some kind of, back and forth, or even just a tease of the two of them fighting again, and that would be that is enough. If you're going to do a slow burn in that way, where we're saying, hey, like, promo, dude, I'm there for it then. I just don't want them to like forget that they just did this and then we don't talk about it at all next week. Like that would suck. That would suck.
Because they have shown they do that too as well. They'll forget they'll forget about one of their roster members. Like, oh yeah, we gotta get back to this story, but I'm already kind of disjointed from it already.
Right.
But I think, man, that they have enough history with each other to slowly tell this story. So it is, I think they can lean on that too. On the rich history that they have.
Fair point. And pre-show too, speaking of Moxley, we were talking about how it was crazy on SmackDown that they mentioned Moxley.
Yep.
Seth Rollins, in his promo. Seth freaking Rollins, thank you. In his promo against the Tribal Chief, mentioned how, Roman has never really, done anything on his own. He was always being held up. The Usos are holding him up now. It was, me and Mox, that were holding you up before. And it was just like, wait. You said what now? Did he just say Mox? He didn't even say Dean Ambrose. It would have been enough for him to say Dean Ambrose. That would have been enough for me to say, damn. Okay.
He gave that man respect, though.
He said Mox. I said, wow. Okay. Even Pat McAfee later on, too, mentioned Moxley as well. Just said him and Mox, like just the fact that they were saying that man's name.
Yeah.
Like his AEW ring name was crazy. So, yeah, man. And then you were talking about how if only WWE and AEW could have a partnership or be willing to work together on this, like how amazing would it be to see like somehow, some way, they're having this match at Royal Rumble and Moxley could be involved. Like however it is, like that would be amazing.
Because it's smart money.
Yeah.
Like, if Tony Khan and Vince McMahon put aside their huge egos, I think they could come together and give us like a one time, and if they just want to do it just one time and that's it. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to give us a reoccurrence of one. Just one time, one and done. We tried it out, see how much money we can get from it. All right, whatever. They want to do that. I'm fine with that, man. Because I got from the Moxley promo, and then when it trickled down to Seth and he mentioned Mox, dude, I had to go on YouTube and look at that 2016 Battleground when they went for the WWE Championship. Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, Tribal Chief. You know what I'm saying? We the ones. And, Jon Moxley when he was Dean Ambrose, man. And he walked out. He walked in as champion and he walked out as champion, bro. You know what I'm saying? This is like when they was getting ready for the brand split. This brand split. This is the reason why they introduced the Universal title, because Moxley took the belt back to SmackDown.
Yep.
And I got like vibes of that, man. I was like, if they just give us, they can just come together, man. You know? But the fans are on one side, you know, these hardcore fans on both sides, they don't want to see that shit.
Well, let me ask you this. So let's compare to main event options, right? Like this, we're gonna do our Royal Rumble predictions. So this doesn't necessarily act as a spoiler for that. But let's just say, right, the biggest main event possible right now feels like Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. Okay, but let's compare that to what you're talking about right now, which would be a return of the triple threat. So Seth freaking Rollins versus the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns versus Jon Moxley at WrestleMania main event. Like, which of those two do you think would be more box office?
Oh shit. I'll be real. I think the Tribal Chief, Seth Rollins, the Jon Moxley, the triple threat, if that was a main event, I think that can be more box attraction, just from how WWE makes their promo vids. They can dive back into the history of the Shield. And they're all stars. They're all like main eventers, all in their right, man. They all had the chance to carry the company, every single one of them. And, you know, within that faction. And I think, in real talk, the Shield is probably one of the top factions in the wrestling business, man. Of what they all, you know, provided to WWE, and they're all main eventers. And I think they can use that, you know, pull from that and make it a box worthy attraction. Because you got Jon Moxley, who's dynamite on the mic, and he has his own unique style of wrestling. Tribal Chief, you know what I'm saying? He's the face of the company. He brings in that star power. He brings in those casual fans as well. And then you got Seth freaking Rollins. You know what I'm saying? The work he put in, the showmanship that he has, man, and just the character that he has now, dude, I would love to see all of them in their current state of characters just to collide and just see how that would mesh. Because I think it is box worthy, man. I think it's slightly more box out worthy than Brock. I would say that. Like 1A, 1B, 1A triple threat, 1B Brock and Roman Reigns.
Yeah, I think both matches are box office, but one of them we've seen main event WrestleMania already. You know, now this is a very different version of Roman Reigns, and this is a different version of Brock Lesnar. And Brock right now is on point. Like, he's just, you know, so entertaining, great on the mic, having a lot of fun. I'm enjoying
flawless
every
on
moment
the mic. Not just great, flawless on the mic, man. He is killing it on the stick, bro.
He is. But even with all that said, I feel like, you know, the opportunity to have someone first of all doing a cross promotional match like that.
Yeah.
First time ever, not only cross promotional match, but as the main event of WrestleMania. I mean, all the eyeballs of the world watching this, and bring in Jon Moxley as Jon Moxley from AEW into WWE for a main event against his Shield brothers.
Yes.
A matchup that, you know, you could say, you know, years and years in the making, because, you know, they were all brought up together, came in together. They all had success. They had that match at Battlegrounds, but really we didn't let it. This is the best version of all of them. You know, this version of all those characters.
They're all top of their game.
Yeah. Jon has reached the highest of highs, and his character right now is just so. It seems like it's so him. You know, it's so fleshed out. It's so him. He's free. You know, as in his own words.
Yep.
You know, you got Seth freaking Rollins. You know, the drip god himself. You know, the visionary, just in the control of all of his powers right now. And then the Tribal Chief on God mode right now, you know, like literally just at the top of his game. Like, man, that right there, it's the closest thing for me because, you know, again, my Mount Rushmore, The Rock, Stone Cold, and Triple H, like those three at the top of their game. They never main evented WrestleMania. Like, I feel like the same with these guys too. At the top of their game, it would be amazing to see them main event a WrestleMania. Will we ever get it? I mean, probably not, honestly. But
Highly unlikely.
we
But it
could we
would be
could
nice.
only
We can fantasize right now. We can
exactly.
fantasize. I'm daydreaming just thinking about it. You know, I honestly think it'd be like a worldwide event, you know, because you're pulling all people from walks of life when it comes to wrestling to see this. And I think it will, you know, mostly Jon Moxley would bring that connection over, man, from like New Japan, all the other smaller promotions, GS Dub, that he would bring just to see this event, because some people just completely cut off WWE, you know, and I think what Jon could bring to it, that's why I think, you know, as well, that it would be a box-worthy attraction. You know what I'm saying? It's just not casual fans, it's all walks of wrestling, man, coming together for a worldwide event.
Facts. Definitely, I agree. You know, we can only fantasize and dream about it right now, but who knows? Maybe in the future we can get some kind of partnership, you know, in some capacity to make that happen. But moving back to reality, we've got a topic here that also I think is pretty big right now, at least for me in AEW, and that is it time to put respect on Jade Cargill's name? Now, I'm bringing this up because one, obviously, she's TBS champion. Just had a title defense against Anna Jay, and she's 25-0. You know, she's you know, you start stacking it all up, and I feel like, you know, there's still like a, well, is she for real? You know, is she legit? Like, is she worthy of, you know, this one honor of being the first TBS champion? You know, has she proved herself to be like a legit wrestler yet? And, you know, I guess for me, this question is not really even a question. It's just me putting it out there because I wanted to have the topic out there to say, yes, from my perspective, I think it is. You know, for anyone who's thinking like, all right, you know, I don't know, Jay, you know, she's not a well-rounded wrestler. She's still kind of green. I mean, if you watch this matchup that she had with Jay, I felt like, you know, she went out there and put on a awesome matchup. And shout out to Anna Jay too, because she looked great in this as well. Like, both of them, to me, kind of prove that, you know, the women's division AEW, they're ready for more. They deserve more. But Jade Cargill specifically, I feel like she deserves that respect of, hey, you know, she's put in the work. She has that star power. She has that presence. You know, she's got the win. You know, you want to talk about like the, you know, the wins matter and all this. Like, now they are talking about, you know, a streak, so they have something for her from a storyline perspective. Like, she is undefeated, 25-0. They put it up on the screen, and now that's something we'll be tracking, just like we tracked Goldberg's streak back in the day. Like, who is going to be the one to beat her? Who's going to be that first person to beat? Like, people are going to start thinking that now. So, and it's not going to be for a while, because the way they're booking her, you know, it would be wrong to have her lose in the next 5 to 10 defenses, let's say, right? Like, if you really want to build this up, if you're really serious about having her have this sustained success, you know, it's got to be more than just, you know, 1 defense, 2 defense, 3 defense. Nah, you need to put like 10, 15 defenses on that. Stack that record. Maybe get her to 50-0 in like,
I like that. I like
with title defenses, and then we start thinking about, okay, maybe this next person will be the one to beat her. So that's where I'm at. I feel like she deserves that. And to this whole conversation about, you know, the diversity and Black representation, you know, I said sustained success on purpose, because that's what we've been talking about. You know, that's what Big Swole was talking about. Not just putting the belt on somebody or just having a couple wins here and there. We're talking about someone staying on top, you know, and little girls, you know, of color being able to look at Jade and say, ooh, you know, I look at her and I see me. You know, that could be me. You know, and knowing that not only can that be you at the top, but that could be you staying on top. You know, like, there's an opportunity here for Tony Khan to really show something by having Jade stay on top and be this dominant champion for months and months, if not a full year to come. So that's where I'm at with it. So that's why I brought up this topic is, you know, is it time to to give Jade Cargill that respect, to put respect on her name? It's a rhetorical question. The answer is yes. You know, and that's I just wanted to create this topic just to put that out there.
the Messiah cooking right now, y'all. He cooking. I want some of that. Man, well said, bro. And I agree. You know, I co-sign with that too. I would definitely put respect. She definitely leveled up. If I haven't seen that match with Anna Jay, I'll probably say her wrestling still it's still a work in progress. But I would just say, you know, she just maybe needs to step it up in the ring. But now I'm seeing it. I don't need to say that. She's doing that. You know what I'm saying? She needs to remain champion. You said it 1 year. I was gonna say it too. If you didn't gonna say it, I was like at least 1 year minimum. You know what I'm saying? And stack those motherfucking wins so the next title that whoever gets it, it will mean something. You know what I'm saying? So the next woman can carry on. And then come on, we want the second match of the women's division for AEW on the main shows.
Yes.
On your TBS and TNT channel.
Yes.
Okay. Let's get that. Let's get that. The women have the talent. They have the ability. They can carry a show. Come on, Jade. That's the proof in the pudding right there.
Yep.
The star power alone, bro.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? She has it, and then paired up with the manager Mark. It's good. It's a good presentation to show this is a star. And then, you know, like I said, man, like my daughters can see that. They can relate to that. Like you said, like, oh man, she's a champion. Let me sit down. Let me see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Because I'll say this too. I don't really like to talk about ratings, but I think AEW does have an opportunity to reach out more of I would just say the black women, because they are very low in that demographic. And you have a perfect star in Jade to grow that. You know what I'm saying? To reach out, to get more of your casual fans, to get, you know, the black women like my daughters too, to see that. You know what I'm saying? Let them sit down. Let me see what's going on. Oh, she killing it. What's her record? Damn, okay. 30-0 or 40-0? Shit. I need to see what's going on with this system.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what they need to do, man. You know, just capitalize on that opportunity that they have, man. But yeah, I'll definitely put some respect on Jade. Put some respect on my name.
That's what I'm talking about, man. And just to co-sign to what you're saying about the division, like, you got Jade, you got Britt Baker, you got, you know, Jamie Hayter, who's teamed up with Britt Baker, and they're building that storyline right now. You got Ruby Soho, you know, you got Anna Jay,
man. I would actually put her in my rankings now, like 11 or 12.
Especially after that. Oh my god.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? Dude. I'll move her. I elevate her.
Dude, Chris Statlander, Layla Hirsch, they've got their thing going on. You know, there's something cooking there too. You know, so I just feel like it's time, you know, two matches. It's not asking much, you know, with all this going on, 2 matches and, you know, tell those stories, you know, those long-term stories. Serena Deeb and Hikaru Shida have a thing going on right now. Yeah, I'm loving it, especially on the Serena Deeb side. Like, just the characters that's being created with everything that they're doing. Just, yeah, man, it's awesome.
Christian Statlander, the 450.
Yeah.
Impressive.
Yeah.
Impressive. The only one I've seen it done super clean is Bianca Belair. Who does the 450.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then a few weeks ago when Bianca Belair did that 450, like maybe she had to put some distance on that. I was like, holy shit. Yeah. I thought she would be short, but she covered it. I was like, wow. Yep. Wow. Then I see you on AEW, Christian Statlander doing a 450 clean. I'm like, come on, bro. What are we talking about now? What are we talking about being patient? No.
There's no need. I mean, when you talk about, you know, talent, you know, and just the amount of talent that they have right now in that women's division, I mean, some people still say, nah, don't compare them to WWE's women's division or Impact's. It's there. They have the talent that, to me, when I watch the AEW's women's division, you know, and I look at the WWE's women's division, I feel like the talent is there, you know, like it's not so far apart that it's like, oh, okay, no, it's WWE's women's division is way beyond AEW's. No, it's not. It's not. Like, some of the people on top, yeah, you've got, you know, your Sashas, your Charlottes, your Beckys, and Bailey's out right now, but, you know, yes, they reached a height to where it helped kind of take this revolution to a whole nother level.
Yep.
But watching the growth of all the women on AEW and just seeing the sheer numbers now too. And I didn't even mention Thunder Rosa when I was saying all those women. I
Nope.
didn't even mention Thunder Rosa, and
Nope.
she's amazing.
Yep.
Like, and just thinking of that roster, the where it's at with the Tay Contis and Chris Stanlanders, it's like they're there as far as having talent that's good enough to where you can have at least 2 matches and storytelling for all of the women in the division. Like, come on now. Like, that's all it is, you know? So if they can, and WWE is not doing the best job of it with their women's division on a whole right now. So, you know, to put that out there, like, I feel like they could be doing a little bit better a job with the women's division on a whole. The women's
on the
tag team
SmackDown
division,
side, they can.
well, women's tag team division
tag
is
team, I was about to say.
non-existent. It's non-existent right
They don't
now.
give no
That
fuck.
sucks. Right. You know, and then even with Charlotte now, it's like I don't know if they know what they're really doing with Charlotte Flair right now. Becky is really where it's at. It's just Becky is having great storytelling on the Raw side. Right. So to your point, SmackDown definitely it's lacking. But yeah, man, AEW, just one more match and more storytelling, better storytelling, more storytelling for the women, and we're good. But it's time. It's time to go ahead and do that. So we're on the same page there. All right. Last topic for AEW is this Cody Rhodes promo. I have to bring it up. I got to bring it up. Cody Rhodes. So what do you make of this promo that he had, man? Because one thing that I pulled from it,
I'm gonna give him respect on the promo, bro.
Okay, because one thing I'm gonna pull from it is that he said, you know, he talked about CM Punk and how CM Punk talked about, you know, he teased going like, what if he went to Ring of Honor, New Japan? You know, he might, you know, say, you know, he mentioned Colt Cabana, you know, on that episode of Raw where he had the pipe bomb, you know, and Cody mentioned that. But what was interesting about it, and, you know, to his credit, like, these are all facts, CM Punk mentioned doing all that, and that was cool, and we were all like, oh my God, but Cody went out and did it. And I'm like, okay, you know, like, he went to New Japan. He went to Ring of Honor. He joined the Bullet Club. Like, he did all that, you know? So, and then starting AEW, you know, and doing all the things he's done, it's like, when you look at Cody in the big picture, yes, like, Cody does, as far as, like, putting respect on Cody's name, you know, with all this, it's like, yeah, you know, he does deserve that respect. Now, that brings up the question, like, so then, is it not justified to feel the way that you feel about Cody if you feel like a certain type of way about him? I feel like it's there's, you can have both, right? You can respect the accolades and the things that Cody has done in the past, you know, like all those things, like when he was, you know, I mean, he went from Stardust to, you know, joining the Bullet Club. Yeah. Like, that's awesome. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate that. But having said that, when you take on that EVP title and you're on everything, and then you're on the, you know, you've got a reality show and you're doing the Go Big show.
Yeah, the Go Big show.
And it feels like, you know, a go-go thing that happened.
Yeah,
it's kind of like it's understandable why people feel the way they feel. So I don't think anybody should feel like, well, you know, if I've been booing Cody after that promo, like, I should stop booing. Like, you feel how you feel. Like, I feel like it is justified to an extent. Yeah. But it is cool to kind of hear Cody, you know, kind of bring up like, hey, by the way, look, I'm that dude that actually went out and did these things. And I thought that right away, I thought, man, it would be amazing if that was the start of a feud between him and CM Punk. Like, that to me was almost like I don't know, I'm just going to say it was sneak diss to CM Punk, you know, to throw that out there, because immediately I'm thinking, wow, so he's saying, you know, CM Punk talked about it, but I was about it. Like, I actually was about that life of, okay, I've got all this history in WWE. You know, my family, the Rhodes family, is, you know, it was a part of WWE, was in my blood, but I decided, no, I'm going to do my own thing. Like, I'm a bet on myself, go to the indies, and let's see what happens. And that, too, like him breaking down the royal family, like there's more than one royal family, you know, and what that means. Like, I was like, all right, Cody, like I feel you and I hear you, and I think
I
the
hear what you're
only
saying.
thing, yeah, I hear what he's saying. So just to kind of summarize what I'm thinking about all this from my perspective, and I'm gonna hand it off to you is
Mm-hmm.
it puts it in perspective to where it's like, yes, let me not lose sight of the fact that this dude has done some awesome things in wrestling, traveling the world and going to these different promotions and like fuck the revival, like all that he was a part of, you know. Um but at the same time, that doesn't just erase the fact that you are kind of still overexposed, in AEW, and you have this title and it kind of looks the way it looks.
Yeah.
So naturally, it's just people are gonna sort of, especially the AEW fans, like WWE fans are fickle. Like, let's just say the WWE fans are fickle. Once you turn face, that's kind of it. Like they kind of are. It's just a ticking time bomb to when they turn on you. But with AEW fans, it's not really like that. Like they love everything. They're smart fans, and if you're a good guy, they're gonna cheer you, and if you're a bad guy, they're gonna boo you. But with Cody, it's different because they feel like this dude is just a little too much, and I feel like that's got to be respected too. Like this fan base, reacting the way they're reacting, it means something a little different than if it were just, the WWE fan base.
Because he's getting a unique reaction, like it's something different, and that's a good point. That we need to respect that too, because like I said, honestly, I respected Cody's promo. I'm never going to disrespect when somebody brings up the work, and when he brought up the work, I'm like, yeah, you right. I can't hate on that. I can't deny that. I can't even, have rebuttals.
Right.
And then he did slip up a little bit, talking about he created the forbidden door. I was like,
yeah.
I'm like, huh?
Good call out. Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Creating it, like,
right.
The whole thing is just, ridiculous.
That sounds a bit full of yourself.
Right.
Like a little hillish Cody just look.
Well, and that's the thing too. Like, here's the thing that just kind of irritates me about this promo, even though I do think overall the promo was strong.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
that right there, it's a smart promo if he ends up turning heel after all of this. Right? It's just because that was a very heel thing to do, to just be like, yeah, I created the forbidden door. What the fuck? What do you mean you created the forbidden door?
Yeah. And he got a reaction from fans. I heard boos. I was like, yeah, because we know the fucking history of the forbidden door.
Yeah, like just no, but it's perfect for a heel to say that. Like in character for him to say that.
Heel.
And also too, like I'm saying, like with CM Punk being such a big face in the company, for him to mention CM Punk and that pipe bomb and things that CM Punk teased doing, and he's saying, well, but I actually went out and did it. I'm like, oh my God. If they just go with this, end this with Sammy Guevara. And I'm sorry, as far as much as it is a solid storyline, and the MJF CM Punk storyline, and go with this, because this right here kind of makes me, it seems like it feels right. It feels right that a guy like CM Punk and Cody Rhodes, who has a very Triple H feel to him right now, would face off, and this will be the thing that turns Cody heel.
Arrogant.
Yeah, and just have Cody like feel like he's the good guy in this, and CM Punk gives him the doses of reality. It's like what he did with John Cena. You are what you hate. Before, you were the underdog, but now you're not. You're the New York Yankees. Like, you're it. He could do the same thing to Cody Rhodes, and I would be cool with it. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, wow, like this is what we need. This is what Cody needs. I feel like this is what CM Punk needs. Like, just get at him. Like, just, oh man. So yeah, to me, it's a more interesting storyline. Like I am enjoying the MJF CM Punk storyline, but I told you before, I feel like the Wardlow MJF storyline for me is kind of where I want to go. Like I'm a little over the CM Punk MJF storyline.
That could possibly be the next one after MJF is done with CM Punk, and then he'll move on to Wardlow. Because honestly, I think they're just trying to have CM Punk and MJF meet at the what's the next pay-per-view? Is
Beach
it Revolution? Break? No, that's just a TV special. I think they're gonna
pay-per-view.
fight.
I think it's Revolution.
Around this time or the next month or so.
Yeah.
I think.
I don't know if they'll wait till then. We'll see. Yeah, you're probably right.
I think they will. Yeah,
you're probably right on that.
Yeah.
But man. It's interesting. That promo was interesting. I mean, anything to add when it comes to the promo, I feel like, because you were saying you give him, respect on it, but is there more to it?
Cody's teased, about being a heel or not going here. How long does he hold on to that? How long, I'm not going to show my hand until, like, will it be too late? Will we be shocked? Or, like,
I feel like it won't be happens. I think it's going to work because we're all ready for it, Yeah. I think that there's not a point where I'm going to go, I don't want him to be heel if nothing changes. Because for me, it's just there's no forcing the fans to love you. Like there's none of that. And the more that he tries, it's only going to backfire. So like, let's just say they abandon this, right? They maybe they were thinking about turning him heel, but then they decide, nah, let's keep him face. People are just going to keep doing what they're doing and feeling the way they feel, and like,
once he beat Sammy, tomorrow?
Yeah, if he beats Sammy,
that's Beach Break, right?
Yeah. If he beats Sammy, I guess you're right. Beach Break would be tomorrow. If he beats him there, I mean, like that's it. There's no. The fans are gonna boo that, like easily. He's getting booed,
No, I got two.
Just
I'm the real champion now.
There's no winning that. There's no winning over the fans that way. It won't happen. And honestly, even if he loses, I don't think it's going to make people say, okay, well, now it's all right. Because Cody, he did the right thing. And, he put over Sammy. Like, I don't think that's going to really change it. But it would be worse if he were to beat Sammy. Like, then there's going to be some real heat on him for doing that to Sammy again.
If you beat him, maybe a little sus. Like, hold on. Like... Maybe do like a little slick move, like, do the nut shot like Roman Reigns do.
If he does a heel turn to beat Sammy in this matchup, that would be cool. That would be cool. Okay. He may even get cheered for that, honestly. If he uses heel tactics, it's like finally he turns heel. So I think that's just what people want, man. This is John Cena and Roman Reigns all over again, where the fans just we're not feeling, this guy who's trying to be this babyface get forced down our throats. It's like, nah, man. Just, if you turn heel, though, it fits character. We've been talking about this for a while. You have the EVP powers. If you just live into that and, use those powers to set things up for you, and to give yourself the best matches, all the TV time. I want all the championships, like literally.
What if we did like 10 weeks, just 10 weeks of straight jobber matches, so you could just stack wins on the main show, not even dark elevation.
Oh my
God. You just could stack his fucking EVP. I got a new contract now. I can go for the AEW.
Oh my goodness, man. Dude, seriously.
I want to see the chaos.
Yeah, I want it. I want that. So yeah, man. We'll see what happens tomorrow, in this matchup. But definitely there was a lot. There was a lot there. It was an interesting promo, and we'll see where we go from here with the whole thing. But I thought it was interesting.
All right, guys, that's gonna wrap up for part 1. Be on the lookout for part 2 along with the After Hours episode as well. Don't forget about that. And you can always find the awesome podcast and the video platform on our website, ClarkStreetWrestling.com, ST for the abbreviation. And don't forget about our merch. We got some great merch for you: beach towels, hoodies, coffee cups, notebooks, even blankets. Yeah, I said it. We got blankets for this winter time up in here in the Shire to get all warm and closer to your significant other. So don't forget about it. ClarkStreetWrestling.com/store for your pleasure. It is decided.